Welcome to this edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Carrie-Ann Smith. On the show today, the importance of those protective gears when driving. Also, Issues provide some timely answers on exporting for the agricultural market.
The market for organic food abroad is huge. America is importing 90% of its organic food into the country.
You have to stick around to see it all.
Nobody want to plant the corn. Everybody want to read the band. Who you are go blame it on when it's a next man you are deep in pan. Well, you're wrong.
Farmers, let us be serious about predial larceny. It is affecting all of us. If you are aware of incidents of predial larceny, make contact with your local police station or call Crime Stop at 311. Predial larceny is everybody's business.
Me want to take it all. No mind if me stall. Them no business if me back against the wall. This a living sometime making me ball. Seems like there ain't no love after.
Members of the Jamaican diaspora are increasing their contribution to the national growth agenda through an initiative called Farm Up Jamaica. The objective is to reduce the importation of conventional, inorganic, and genetically modified foods. Take a look.
Thanks for joining us for Issues and Answers. I'm Ian Boyne. Today we talk about farming opportunities, some opportunities that you might be able to use. We thank you for your company. We have with us Mr. Neil Curtis, who is the Executive Director of a project called Farm Up Jamaica. He's a Jamaican living in the United States, part of our important diaspora community. And this is an initiative to help his country. He tells us more. Good to have you, Neil. Farm Up Jamaica. Tell us about the origin of this. How did you conceptualize it, and what were the circumstances surrounding that?
Well, in 2013, I came to Jamaica to a funeral from my uncle. And when I came, they left, when he passed on, he was the last heir here in Jamaica, and they left to me 60 acres of cocoa.
Oh, good inheritance.
Yes. And I didn't know what to do with that cocoa.
To do it.
So I went out and started to ask questions about how do I grow cocoa, and the farmers in the area were telling me that there was really no assistance for them to get the cocoa going and what have you. So I decided to go to the diaspora conference, which was happening at the same time.
Yes, that's right.
In 2013. And I met with some other diaspora. I spoke to them about cocoa. But then I also realized that everybody in that room was speaking about individual projects and not so much the common good of Jamaica. So I just took a step back and said, you know something, we need to talk about something that's going to benefit the whole country.
I see.
Instead of me talking about my cocoa, instead of you talking about your house or your goats. And then, you know, a few diaspora came together. We went back to our places where we were living. Well, some people went to UK, some to Florida, Jersey. I went back to New York, and we started dialoguing on the phone. And we came up with this idea of how the diaspora could measurably assist Jamaica and do our part other than just sending home remittances.
Precisely. That doesn't help as much as having actual investments and investments in the ground.
Exactly.
Literally. So tell us how this project works. I think one of your main objectives is to cut down on the food importation in Jamaica.
Yeah, so the mission of the organization is to help reduce the importation of foreign food into Jamaica, increase Jamaica's exports, and create green jobs for young individuals.
Three important objectives.
And we're doing that, technically, doing that right now. The project works as follows. You have a piece of land. Let's say you have 10 acres of land. Most farmers that we meet, although they have 10 acres of land, they're only farming 1 or 2 acres of land. Our project is an organic project, so we are only doing organic food.
Just organic food.
Only organic food, simply because the market for organic food abroad is huge. America is importing 90% of its organic food into the country and only producing 10% on the ground. So that's a huge opportunity for Jamaica, because there's a shortage now of organic food, although they're importing that much. It's a $40 billion US market. It's something that we've researched and made decisions on going in that direction. So we've decided that we're gonna do this organic farming. We brought the farmers that were directed to us. We actually met with JAMPRO. Right, and then we met with the Ministry of Agriculture.
I see.
And we turned in some documentation to them, and they looked at it and they said, well, we've never seen anything like this before. The proposal. And they said, look, go ahead, launch it. So we asked them, well, where can we find some good, reliable farmers that we could give some farmer assistance to? As a farm assistance program. And they directed us down to the breadbasket of Jamaica, which is St. Elizabeth, South Manchester border, that area there.
Yes.
And when we got there, we met with the farmers and we got everybody working. We started to grow onions and we started.
About how many farmers you're working with?
In that particular area, we started to work with about 4 farmers. Was one main farmer and then 4 sub-farmers.
Okay.
But throughout the time now, we've kind of moved off of so much of the farmers and into the agriculture students. The young people that are interested in agriculture, because we don't see where the old farmers can pass the baton to anyone at this point. And most farmers are over 60 years old. So we're seeing that once these farmers die off, you're going to have an increase in importation of food into the country, because the things that they are producing will be no more.
So you're concentrating on the young soldiers.
We call them young soldiers for food security. And we're very focused on them. And we've been taking them out of the Heart Trust Academy down in Ebony Park.
I see.
And putting them on the farms, learning organic farm techniques, and getting them going in that
You're
direction.
putting them on the farm. So you identify lands? Tell me how you get the lands.
Okay, so remember I told you about the breadbasket?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a test farm at that location. We don't really grow abundance of food there, but we test different items that people have told us wouldn't grow in Jamaica. Right? So we look at things like red cabbage, or broccoli, cauliflower, all organic. Certain types of onions.
And you have proven that they can be grown here?
100%. As a matter of fact, we're at a point where we did some green peppers just a month ago. And we did the green peppers with no organic fertilizers, no organic pest controls at all. Just reconstructed the soil using some ancient techniques. And we put the seedlings in, and within 30 days we had full-size peppers. That would normally take 90 days
and
to
it's
grow.
organic?
Completely organic. Sunlight and water. That was sunlight and water. Now you have organic that is not just sunlight and water, that we still practice. Where we use manures, how we use organic or natural herbicides, natural pesticides, things that are made from the earth, are biodegradable. And what you'll realize is that plant life likes those types of products because it's able to absorb them. Right? So a lot of the things that might be more harsh, the plant life doesn't absorb as well. So you'll realize they have a higher concentrate of nitrogen in an inorganic fertilizer than you would have in an organic fertilizer, because the organic fertilizer is being absorbed at 100% by the plant.
Tell us how big you envisage this Farm Up Jamaica program to be, how big it can become. What is your vision for it?
Okay.
Where it is now and where you're going to push it.
So within the first year of us coming here,
I want to take the break at this point. Neil Curtis runs Farm Up Jamaica, an innovative and exciting program which provides opportunities for the country as well as for agricultural students and farmers. He tells us more when we come back from our break.
Businessmen and women, members of the MSMEs, no longer do you have to visit several government agencies to register a company or business name. Visit the COJ. They are willing and prepared to assist you in filling out the new business registration form, more commonly known as the super form.
The overwhelming response from the majority of our customers is, why did this take so long to happen? There are persons who actually waited until January 2nd to come here to do their business because they wanted to avoid going to multiple government departments.
Click on ocrjamaica.com for more details.
We're talking about opportunities in farming, and we have with us Mr. Neil Curtis, who is the Executive Director of Farm Up Jamaica. This is a project that came out of the Diaspora Conference. Neil lives in New York and he spends a lot of time in Jamaica interacting with our farmers. And I was asking at the break, Neil, just briefly where you are now and where you intend to take Farm Up Jamaica. How big a potential is this?
Well, I'd say it has a large potential, wide potential, simply because I believe that the same situations that we are combating and finding solutions for here in Jamaica are existing in other countries, like Haiti, like Europe even. And we've been contacted by higher level organizations that they have said to us, we are watching you.
Is that so?
Yeah, and we like
looking at this as
watching this as a boilerplate to try and put it. They said they love what we are doing, and not only that, but they even are offering us to come on board and are even offering funds for us to get this work accomplished, because it means more to them than us just growing and to reduce importation of Jamaica. But now they can see that this can be done in other countries, and I've even been asked if I would come to another country to actually do the same exact thing that we are doing. But I told them, Jamaica first.
So you want the country?
Yeah, and I think that once the whole model is built out here in Jamaica, then yes, we can start to talk. So you ask, how big do we see it becoming? I think it could be a Red Cross type situation for farmers worldwide, where, it's basically taking things step by step, evaluating what the actual problem is, and coming up with a measurable solution that actually answers the question and creates economy for local and international
So tell me how it works in terms of the farmers. Let's say I have 3 acres and so on. Well, I contact you, then you contract me and perhaps ask me to link up with some other farmers, because you can't carry a big truck for just a few items. Tell me how would that work now? I have my little 1 or 3 acre.
All right, so you have 1 acre.
And I'm doing peppers, for example.
You have 1 acre, and you want to do pepper.
And
your land, we've tested the soil. We know that peppers are the right crop for your area.
Yes.
So normally what we would do is then we would put a few more farmers together in your area, up to about 25 acres.
I see, you want that.
And then now we will launch into that area a program that will allow them to have access to everything that they need to be successful in farming
like
peppers.
What? Okay.
Organic seeds.
You give the seeds.
Organic fertilizer. Organic pest control. Access to labor. Access to a market to sell their peppers to, which is first and foremost, even before the seeds.
You give the market?
No, they have them. We bring the market. All right, so we already know where those peppers are going before you plant 1 seed. And we are contracted with that market. And now we're going to contract you, the farmer, to make sure that you produce that amount of peppers for us over the course of the contract period.
Seems like something I could go in.
Yes.
I could identify some lands, you're making it attractive. You give me all the things.
Everything.
You give me the technical assistance.
Technical assistance,
training. You give
organic farm training.
Where have I set up on that? Yes.
Yes, which we have local partners that we use that have been doing this training for many years here in Jamaica. We put you together with them. We basically...
And you come and collect my products?
And we come and we
collect and sell it?
We build into those areas packing facilities and places where people go and make sure that the product is up to par. It has to meet organic standards, both in food quality and the packing. Everything about it has to be organic. So when we say organic, that's a whole nother thing. We're talking about food that is grown with organic farm practices. Some food here in Jamaica won't have an organic certification per se. But again, just using the practices of no pesticide, no artificial, no inorganic fertilizers or herbicides are the practices that we're using. Now, if we have an external market and we're going to sell organic food to it, we will get an international organic certification for your farming group. That means that you...
So you work with Bureau of Standards to get that?
Work with the Bureau, yeah, you work with the Bureau of Standards to get that. And then you have independent organizations that do the certification. Like the USDA.
Yes.
And of course the European market.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's a bit of both. When you're doing local certification, you're going to use your Bureau of Standards, but of course the international certification would come from an international.
And you have links with those organizations?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, we just had about 100 acres of ginger and turmeric surveyed by one of those organizations for certification.
Yes, yes. And you have a program with NCU?
Right, so we work, we have partners who are here on the ground. One of our partners is NCU. I'd say one of our biggest partners right now. NCU has about 1,200 acres of land in Goshen.
Yeah.
We have partnered with them to grow onions, to help reduce the importation of onions by 20% within the next 2 years. They're on board. We're on board with the Ministry of Agriculture because they have come down there and loved what we are doing down there and actually have also lent a hand in the land clearance and things like that. And in addition to that, we are working with the IDB and awaiting financing to complete that project.
Oh, okay.
So it's a huge project.
Huge project.
It's a huge project, and it will bring a lot of international volunteers in from all around the world. That's going to be giving expertise on how to grow onions. It's going to bring together, it's actually 10 camps of 10-acre plots. And each one has about 60% Jamaican and then 40% international people included in the whole mix. So each camp has about 10 people that run each 10-acre camp.
Great project, Farm Up Jamaica. For those who think that nothing comes out of these diaspora conferences, this project is a resounding answer to that. Neil Curtis did take his idea through diaspora conference to implementation. There are Jamaicans abroad who are interested in their country and who are making their contributions. Neil Curtis is one of those persons. Catch us next week when we'll be back. Until then, Ian Boyne wishing you a pleasant day.
So time is money.
Easy, driver. Why no minimum man and taxi driver drive so bad?
Why him have to drive so hard? Me not gonna make you kill off me and me picnic them.
One stop driver. Make her come off this bus. Me say stop.
Me coming with you. The rest of you not take chance within the life. Lord of mercy. That could have been us.
And look how we want the money.
Passengers, your safety is in your hands. Say one-stop driver and get off if the driver is speeding, overtaking recklessly, and not obeying the rules of the road. Don't give away your life. It is too precious.
More than 220 persons have died on our roads in 8 months. One of the main causes of these deaths is speeding. Reluctance to wearing protective gear such as seat belts and helmets is another factor. Please, for the sake of your loved ones, be careful on the roads.
Active safety refers to systems that helps to avoid an accident, while passive safety refers to features that minimize the injury to occupants of a motor vehicle when it is involved in a crash. These active safety systems are the steering and the braking of the motor vehicle that are operated by the driver, while the passive safety features are like the airbag and seatbelt that is activated by the vehicle itself when it is involved in a crash.
And speaking of a crash, it is important to buckle up at all times, because not only does a seatbelt save lives, but it helps to prevent lifetime and long-term injuries.
It's very important to wear the seatbelt. In case of an accident, the seatbelt will keep you from going forward.
In case of sudden impact, you don't, fly from the seat or from the vehicle, so it keeps you stabilized.
And if you don't wear the seatbelt, you can be persecuted. So it's very important to drivers to always wear a seatbelt because it saves life.
Persons must remember that the seatbelts are installed in the vehicle as a safety device to minimize the injury that you might receive in the event of a collision. So persons who are wearing the seatbelt in this fashion, right, this is not the correct way. The seatbelt must be worn right across your shoulder. If the seatbelt is too high based on your height, then it can be adjusted to fit right across your shoulder. And if you are a tall person, it can also be adjusted so that it fits you as best as possible for your own safety.
The purpose of the headrest is to support the neck and the head. And in case of an accident, your head would be going back way.
I think where whiplash is concerned, it give you protection from that also.
The headrest is sometimes mistaken for a luxury feature, but it is actually another valuable safety feature on your vehicle. The headrest or head restraint is actually to minimize or prevent a whiplash injury during a collision. It should be adjusted to the height of the driver and passenger's head, and there should be at least 2 inches between your head and the headrest.
This is the highest this particular headrest can be extended. So this will be okay. So in the event of a crash and the vehicle is stopped suddenly, on impact, the seatbelt will restrict your forward movement and the headrest will restrict the backward movement to avoid any whiplash injury.
What the airbag does is to reduce the speed of the forward movement of the occupant. The airbag is designed to inflate rapidly in moderate to severe crashes and provide protection to the occupants' bodies when they strike interior objects such as the steering wheel or a window. However, for proper protection, persons should be correctly restrained with a seat belt.
During a collision, on impact with an object at a speed as low as between 16 and 24 kilometers per hour, the airbag inflation system acts on 2 gases, sodium azide and potassium nitrate, which produces a nitrogen gas that inflates the airbag and suddenly deflates the airbag within a second on contact with the occupant.
Most vehicles carry 2 airbags to the front, one in the steering wheel and the other on the dashboard on the passenger side. But in high-end vehicles, you will find up to 8 airbags at various locations to the front, rear, and even to the sides. Airbags were designed for one use only, and therefore once it has been deployed, you must have new ones installed. Reusing airbags is a dangerous practice.
The crumple zone on a vehicle are located to the rear and the front. In a crash, these two areas are so designed to crumple so that it minimizes the effect of the crash on the occupants and sort of preserve the cabin area that the occupants are located in.
These areas are designed to deform, hence the word crumple, upon impact, so that the force from the crash is transferred into the bodywork of the vehicle and not to the body of the occupant. The crumple zones are also designed so that damage to the cabin area of the vehicle is limited during a crash. These areas also help to slow down the crash so that the occupant's motion is contained and they are not thrown around.
This is a vehicle with a frontal damage. And if you notice the front area here, this is actually the crumple zone, which is located to the front. And the effect of this collision actually caused the entire front to crumple inward. And as you can see in the center here, this is typical of a pole impact.
Buckle up when you drive. Protect your children with child and booster seats and strap them down well. Adjust your headrest and never reuse an airbag. This has been Road Scholars. Until next time, take care.
We have championed e-learning in Jamaica, provided state-of-the-art technology in over 200 educational institutions, developed materials for CSEC, piloted the Tablets in Schools project in 38 schools, including infant and primary, and trained thousands of teachers in technology integration. We are e-Learning Jamaica Company Limited, ELJAM, an agency of the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology. Visit our website www.elearnja.org.
The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information is committed to ensuring that every Jamaican child has the best learning environment to thrive and needs your cooperation to make the education system work successfully.
What are the school's voluntary contributions for?
Co-curricular and sports activities and school development.
What amount are parents to contribute?
Your contributions are voluntary and the amount depends on the type of programs being offered by the school.
If my child is being denied access to school, can I complain to the ministry?
Yes. You can call or visit any of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information's 6 regional offices or send an email to complaints@moey.gov.jm.
What support is there for PATH students?
PATH students are not expected to make contributions and are to be provided with 5 days free lunch as of this year.
Parents and guardians, do continue to make your voluntary financial contributions to your children's school. The institutions need your assistance for their school development and sporting activities. Remember, every child can learn. Every child must learn.
Parents and guardians, this coming week is crunch time for you. With the school year officially starting on September 5, it's time to review those supply lists and make sure your children are ready. If you haven't hit the bookstores yet or just need a few more to finish the list, here are a few tips. Plan your shopping routes carefully to avoid spending extra time in search of school supplies, and be sure to take the book list along to the store. After your purchase and before writing your child's name in the book, check the edition, author, and the publisher's name given on the book list. When shopping for uniforms, remember that new outfits are not always necessary. Save if you can and revive the old ones. Also, compare prices for the ready-made versions versus having them tailored. Check all uniforms to ensure buttons and zippers are fastened securely. The seam should also provide allowance for your child's movement and growth. Don't go shopping for back to school without being prepared. You might spend more than you should. Here's your inspiration for the week. If you believe in yourself and have dedication and pride and never quit, you will be a winner. The price of victory is high, but so are the rewards. We've come to the end of Jamaica Magazine for this Sunday. Thanks for spending time with us. Remember to keep up to date with the latest government information. Join us online at jis.gov.jm or watch our programs on our YouTube channel. Be sure to check out our other social media platforms. I'm Carrie Ann Smith. Happy Sunday.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.